Hi, this is the 2 Minute Terminator with me, your host Ethan McKinley, and my co-host
Ellie Fitzgerald,
who's choking to death on a
glass of water.
Well done. It's episode 28. We're going from minutes 54 to 56. It starts with the fat T1000 knocking on a glass door. I like this opening. This is good. I need to bring this kind of energy all the time. Sorry for the last episode. And it finishes with Sarah hitting a hospital worker with a broken mop stick, played by actor Ken Gibble, who plays Dougie, who looks not dissimilar from Robert Zemeckis.
Fuck. Sorry, he's just having his ass beat. I should probably turn this down.
Watch out for machines, they're unstoppable. Watch out for machines, they will rule the world.
Well, actually, the cinema version of this was actually cut. Did you know that?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you did know that?
Yeah, because the first time I saw this movie, there wasn't all the blood.
Oh, yeah, she properly breaks his nose.
You literally just saw her whack, and then that was it. It
was like a flash of light.
dragging him in, yeah.
Well, they sometimes I think Monty Python kind of were famous for that. They'd put take a frame out of the film, so
and
when
then
there was
now for something completely different.
when there was a hit, it would look really kind of more impactful. So yeah, welcome to the show, everyone. We are dismantling the Terminator films 2 minutes at a time. I forgot to do that.
Christ, you haven't done this for the whole second series.
I know, I'm on point. Can you remind me to do it like this
I'm on
every
point.
time? Yeah.
Jesus Christ, what are you, like an 18-year-old fucking townie?
Ellie, I'd like to apologise to you and the listeners for episode 26 when I berated you for not understanding how a floor worked.
Oh, okay. No, that's not why I'm saying it.
I'm sensing the passive aggressiveness. I understand what passive aggressiveness is because I've had...
Dude, I'm just aggressive. I'm not passive
3 years of it from a certain someone.
Hey.
Not you.
You need to stop fucking doing that. Who shall not be named. Sophie.
That's too obvious. S. Lovell Anderson.
Yeah.
Well, that put a fucking ripple in the water, didn't it? Yeah, right.
Blood dribbles down the back of his neck.
Single white frame out, which enhances the impact. Just cover that. That was a fact attack, belated. That technique, actually, apart from the Monty Python films, which I just mentioned, Ellie, was used in The Abyss, James Cameron's prior 1989 film, which sadly flopped at the box office.
I can't believe that. It's an awesome movie. I love that film.
Is it better than Terminator 2?
It's different.
In terms of involvement and drama, what do you think's better?
No, I think this is more action-packed. With The Abyss, it's kind of a bit more... I hate to say the word because it just makes me think of like hippies and crystals and shit, but it's a bit more spiritual. It's about like humanity learning to live with nature.
Well, when Catfish, the big cuddly truck driver looking dude in The Abyss, punches out Michael Beihn, who's about to stab to death Ed Harris in the kind of like...
Michael Beihn playing a baddie.
In the submarine bay
Mental.
Of the rig when they're fighting, they take a frame out there as well.
Oh. Which is the version you showed me then?
I showed you not only the special edition, but the uncut version.
Oh, okay. So I've seen it all. I've seen it.
The cinema release didn't feature the rat drowning in that kind of like oxygenated fluorocarbon emulsion, which they describe in the film, which allegedly is a real thing that exists.
Oh, wow.
Breathing liquids, so you can go to like super deep depths. Having said that, I've never seen it on a Discovery Channel. Yeah?
In this scene that we start with...
Oh, the one that you went way past the mark for.
Yes, we're watching that all over again.
Yeah, in the last episode that was kind of like lots of dead air and me just bullying Ellie. Don and Dan Stanton, the famous acting twins, is mimicked by the T-1000, who rises from the floor to mimic, obviously, the guard Lewis, and then he kills his exact double. See how he takes the gun? See? When he drags the body of Lewis, the real human Lewis, into the kind of storeroom with all the chemicals, he takes the gun off him. Reinforcing what Arnie said, that the T-1000 can't form complex machines because they contain moving parts and chemicals.
I see. Thanks for poking me in the ear. Yeah, when he stabs Matey Boy in the eye with his finger, you can see the lady at reception, Marge's estranged sister,
could just look easily to the left and see someone being murdered.
And when so she might not have heard the blade go into his head. I probably would have thought that a noise would have come out of him, but hey ho. When he actually hits the floor, he's a fucking big guy. You'd hear that, and yet she's just completely oblivious. And the doors are open as well.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You're watching this like you've never
I'm
seen
trying
it
to time it perfectly so it does the same thing that your one does. Oh no, I've
Not
fucked
quite,
it
you
up.
fucked it. When he gets a beat, Gibble, you've worked in movies. Oh, Ethan,
shit,
what
I've
the
just broke
fuck
the
have you
computer.
done? When the blood actually like spurts out, do you reckon that fake blood would have been in his mouth, and he would have had to have like spat it out? Because you actually see the blood go like flap in the air.
Oh
That's
yeah,
really
they
cool.
put like a blood pack in your mouth. You go "Puh," like that.
What's a like?
Sorry, that was a pop on the mic, listeners.
What's a blood pack?
Usually it's dyed Kero or corn syrup.
Oh.
That's usually what fake blood is in films, and they use copious amounts of it. It came in like 50-gallon vats when they made Evil Dead 2.
With green and white gunge.
Well, mostly, yeah, because apparently the censors at the time, if you have lots of red blood in a film, it makes it an R-rated film, which is, I guess,
The weird jiggle that he's
the
doing.
death. Yeah, the jiggle wasn't very good, was it?
No.
No.
It was fucking terrible. Your body wouldn't do that. It wouldn't, would it?
Do your jiggle, Ellie. No, that's Northern Soul. Come on, do a proper giggle. Jiggle.
They can't see it, so there's no.
Do a gibble.
Do a go.
Lick my
Wrong
face.
actor.
Stab me in the eye with a fork while licking my face.
If I'd been Sarah and I had the opportunity to beat Gibble up,
Just
I
wanna
probably
say,
would have.
This is a good episode.
I know. Shut up. Stop fucking stifling the flow.
Stifling.
Stifle Gibble. Shh. When she's beating him up, I would have gone a bit more fucking medieval, I reckon. I would have dragged him into the room and probably shoved the broken broomstick up his bum. Could you not?
Like Colonel Gaddafi.
Yeah, definitely like that.
Oh, I felt sorry for him.
Why?
I know he's like an evil dictator and responsible for the deaths of millions, but how fucking terrifying is that? It's almost like, well, you wouldn't get it in the West, would you? But like, it's essentially like walking into the White House and getting Barack Obama, beating him to death, marching him through the streets, and then do you know what they did to him? They put a fucking giant sword or knife up his bum.
Yeah, I know.
That's really messed up.
Dude, he killed thousands of people. Millions. Millions.
Did he though?
Of course he fucking did.
Because can you trust the Western media? Because they put him in power essentially and kept him there. And then when they decided it wasn't time, that's what all that happens, isn't it? They put in like these tin pot dictators to like control regions who like work with America and stuff and oppress the people. And then when it's time for them not to be there, like Saddam was like really good friends with like Donald Rumsfeld and like Dick Cheney back in the day, and they like used to work together in the 80s, and there was arms dealing and like.
Yeah, I know, but we're going into the realm of conspiracy though again, aren't we?
Well, it's not, because when it was, Patrice has talked about it in his conspiracy thing, when it's time for you not to be friends anymore, like Osama bin Laden was everyone's friend. He was trained by the CIA. They were the Mujahideen in the 1980s. If you watch Rambo 3, which is completely bizarre, Rambo 3 helps and fights the Russians with the Mujahideen. And in the previous year's film, we should go back to 1987 now, The Living Daylights with Timothy Dalton, which is like Timothy Dalton's first Bond film, which is actually pretty good, with a great soundtrack by A-ha and John Barrett. No, not A-ha.
Was it A-ha?
Yeah, but you just went and I went no, A-ha. Then
A-ha!
I had to explain the joke to you. It became really meta and it ruined it. But yeah, he fights with the Taliban in The Living Daylights.
He does.
But the Taliban, obviously, when America pulled out of that region, went, screw you guys, thanks for the help, and go fuck yourselves. We're not going to like give you any more arms to fight the Russians. The Russians like fucked them all up, and that's what created the Mujahideen, turned then into the Taliban, which has now morphed weirdly, I think, into ISIS.
Yeah.
But that was CIA created and
I saw
CIA
an article
run.
today. Someone took a photo of the sun, and they were saying that ISIS have released all these like deadly poisonous spiders into people's toilets in Britain. It's like, if that was true, that'd be hilarious.
Yeah, where would you start?
Fuck knows. I don't know. It's all bullshit. All of it. Yeah, I think I would have. What do they call it? A frenzied attack. You know, when they find people's bodies and they've been stabbed like 60 times. If I'd been Sarah, I probably would have. It would have been frenzied attack on Gibble. What? Oh. No, we don't want to kill anyone.
I shouldn't have said that, 'cause if something happens to her now, we've got like a public record of me going,
Nothing's going to happen to her. She's going to live a very blessed life and she'll die a very old and happy woman. With Ben Newton. He's going to get her a custom-made Harley Davidson.
with his giant polished fucking
saying, welcome to the pack.
fucking posh boy face with his ruddy cheeks like a farmer's son.
Ruddy. Ruddy good time.
Ruddy-faced posh boy.
There's the jiggle again.
That's the shit jiggle.
Yeah, so that's not consistent. She definitely would have heard Fat Boy fall to the floor. And I've got a lot of cleaning products in there, haven't they?
Mm.
Actually, where's the sink?
What do you mean?
So he's just the T1000's just dragged his twin into that maintenance room.
Storeroom with the chemicals and cleaning products and stuff.
Maintenance, it says it on the door.
Containing chemicals and cleaning products. I didn't say anything wrong. You corrected me before. I didn't say anything.
Shut up! And then Gibble goes along. I'd never hit you that hard.
Really hurt.
You'd crumble like a biscuit. And then he goes into maintenance room and he's looking down and there's
He goes into maintenance room.
He goes into the maintenance room and he looks down and he sees the broken...
The maintenance room. There might be
the
more than one
broken mop.
maintenance room.
But there's also a sink there. There wasn't a sink in there before.
Oh. That's remarkable.
I know, see? Maintenance. Fucking maintenance. And also, you see the blood splatter on the floor and up onto his shirt and his face when she hits him, rightly so. But then when she drags him off, if you look, there's absolutely no blood on the floor at all.
Well, maybe he just wipes it out. But they are shot out of sequence, of course.
There's no blood.
God, that white uniform, man, that could be fun to wear. Oh, the little skipper she starts to run.
Wow.
The nightstick, or the tonfa baton, why is there a stick that comes out the side of it? Is it to literally defend against an impact like a shield?
I don't know.
It springs to mind because if anyone of a certain age used to watch T.J. Hooker with William Shatner as T.J. Hooker the cop, one of the scenes in the opening of that show, he throws his baton at a fleeing criminal. Yeah. And he like catches in his legs. He throws it like a frisbee, and it like makes him fall over.
and it makes him fall over, and he flips on his wheels, and he just drives away. Can I just say the poster in the background when the dude gets stabbed in the eye, or like the head? Yeah, the eye. The poster in the background is of some like 1970s person like drinking something with a really funny hairdo. I'd love to know what that was for.
For the love of the show, I'm going to play the T.J. Hooker opening for Ellie. Wow. Okay. Great theme.
Cracking theme. Has it got a fat synth?
Oh, mess it up.
Does it have a fat
T.J.
synth?
Hooker. Now look out for the tom for bat. Here we go. Shatner. Oh my God, he's getting away.
Ethan's doing the deepest fist pump you've ever seen.
Dirty electro fist pump. You can do this, like Adrian Zamir.
Oh God. Is he the Robin, like, to his Batman?
Right, here we go. Look, see how he's running past a hedge.
Jumping on kids' school buses. Oh, we've got the token hottie, April.
Love interest. Carl Malden. No? Is it Carl Malden?
Malden, you little bastard!
Shit! How could I have got that wrong? Okay, we didn't see the baton in that one.
Fuck. The baton. He hit me with the baton. Question.
Can I just say one thing before you say anything?
Of course.
The actor in this, in T.J. Hooker, is a guy called Richard Hurd, but he looks exactly like Carl Malden from The Streets of San Francisco, the 1970s cop show with a very young Michael Douglas. Really confused because he looks exactly like Carl Malden.
Who do you think is the better actor, Kirk Douglas or Michael Douglas?
Kirk Douglas. Yeah. I do. He had a weird acting style and the way he talks.
He did, but I really liked him.
Like
he was
really
taking
a shit when he talked. Kirk Douglas was hot.
Yes.
What?
Oh my God, he's such a fucking brute. Like in the Vikings when he's like trying to rape that princess.
It's Vikings.
I was just like, yeah, I'm feeling this. That was with Tony Curtis, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Yes. I never get names or films or anything. So that's a little victory for me. It's all about the small victories leading to the big win. I'm going to do a little side note here. Ethan, what's come out on DVD and you can buy on iTunes now?
Thank you for reminding me because I promised I would mention it on the show. So at least 2 copies will be sold.
One by you.
Yeah, I actually bought a copy of the film I'm actually in. Arthur and Merlin is out on Blu-ray. And no, I'm already lying. It's only on DVD. You can buy it on iTunes for I think $9 or $10. You can buy it on Amazon for even cheaper. Sadly, if you buy it on Amazon, it will be UK region 2, so it may not play on your American or Australian players. But if you want to buy it on iTunes, you can. It's a very good film. I urge you not to search it out on the torrent sites, because it's apparently all over it like you fucking wouldn't
Mr.
believe.
fucking butt pirate over here, who pirates everything.
I do not. To be fair, I did actually pirate
You
it
might as
today.
well take the plunge and watch Arthur and Merlin on Putlocker.
For free. Ellie, have you ever seen an animation called The Big Story?
No.
This actually pre-show was pre-shown before Pulp Fiction in 1994. It's an animation, it's claymation, and it's
I love claymation.
it's Kirk Douglas, but 3 eras of Kirk Douglas, like the Young Vikings Kirk Douglas, the old Kirk Douglas, and the very old Kirk Douglas, and 3 like distinct, like I guess, corridors of his career, all chatting away about some newspaper story in an office. It's quite interesting. I'll put a link to it under the show on the YouTube channel and SoundCloud. But this is The Big Story. But they got Kirk's voice perfect.
Are we playing it to everybody? Eisenhower enters
Kirk
race
Douglas.
for white.
Eisenhower runs for president. The Rosenbergs go to the chair. Hemingway walks off with a Pulitzer Prize.
Oh my god,
Big
that looks
stories in a
amazing.
big town, and what do I get?
They've even got the little dimple in his
A
chin.
woman who eats $5 bills. I'm sitting on the sidelines watching the big boys score home runs. Well, now it's my turn to play ball. Not while I pick the team, you don't. You gotta wait your turn, just like everybody else. Wait, I've been waiting long enough. And I'm not gonna wait anymore.
That chin's incredible.
Marciano's in town for the big fight. I could go down to D'Angelo's right now and get you a real story. I'll give you a real story. Either get back in line or get off this paper. It's so easy for you. You sat behind that desk calling all the shots. Well, I know how you got there. Some front page story that'll make.
I order.
I see the young bloods pressing you for a big story again, boss. Here's the latest on the Marciano fight. What a rotten, stinking world. You guys are all the same.
Bloody good likeness.
Amazing, The Big Story there. 3 eras
The
of
chin
Kirk
to chin
Douglas
was
and
my
kind of
favourite.
3 classes of. You've got like the blue collar work Douglas. Oh, perfect analogy. Work Douglas.
Work, Douglas.
You got like
Bitch, you better work.
the upper class boss Kirk Douglas, and then kind of the middle class Kirk Douglas, which kind of just goes out there and gets the story.
True.
But yeah, good voice likeness.
What's that movie? It just reminded me of something.
Kirk
The front
Douglas.
page.
Oh yeah.
Have you seen that?
No, what's
Walter
that?
Matthau?
No.
And Jack
I
Lemmon?
boycott Walter Matthau films
Why?
because he kills the dolphins that get stuck in the net when he fishes for tuna. I don't know. I've only seen one Walter Matthau film, I think.
And what was that?
Taking a Pelham 1, 2, 3,
I've never seen that.
which everyone lauds as a classic. I found it a tad boring.
Found it a tad boring.
Hector Elizondo's in it, the kind of like the really friendly hotel manager from Pretty Woman. Miss Vivian?
Oh. No, I haven't seen that movie.
This
The
fork,
front
this
page.
fork, this fork.
The front page is really good.
Fork you.
You'd enjoy
What
that.
the fork?
What the fuck? Yeah, you should watch that. It kind of made me think of that because it's all about getting the story.
Is it about newspapers?
Yeah.
Oh, I might have seen Pirates in 1984 with Walter Matthau when they couldn't make pirate movies work at the box office.
I'll tell you what I did really like actually.
Only until Gore Verbinski kind of came at us with
Blinsky.
2003's Pirates of the Caribbean with Captain Jack Sparrow.
Something I'm a little shocked at, and I
Tell
actually
me,
really
Elliot, what are you
enjoyed the
talking
movie
about?
Dennis,
Dennis,
and that was like a really old Walter
the
Matthau.
American.
Yeah,
Dennis the Menace.
it was actually really funny though. There's some really funny bits in
He
it.
plays Mr. Wilson, doesn't
He
he?
does.
The
Have you
long-suffering
seen it?
neighbour. No.
Oh, dude, there's some ridiculously funny bits the other day. I'd completely forgotten.
Do they
about
learn
this
stories about
movie.
life and love by the end of the credits?
Yeah.
Yeah. All films like that, aren't
I
they?
know. And it's got
Valuable lessons in life and love.
His name. Fuck. There's some fucking ridiculously funny bits in it though. My brother was quoting it the other day, and I was rolling on the floor laughing like mad. So yeah, you should probably give it a watch. Question, Ethan.
Yes.
I have many. T1000. Crazy ass, like, advanced
Clean your bath with T1000.
computer.
One code is all you need.
Why doesn't he know exactly where her room is?
Because that information probably classified or on a kind of like within some kind of file, so we'd need to get access to the hospital to find out where she is, possibly.
And second question.
I suppose his plan would be to kind of mimic a guard or ask where Sarah Connor was transferred to and then get to that part of the hospital. Once he knew, he could just slide on the doors and
Do you
stuff.
reckon he did that behind the scenes anyway?
Well, I think when he types into the SCMOD computer, which we mentioned in the second episode of this season,
Yeah.
what does SCMOD stand for?
I can't remember.
Well, it's from the Blues Brothers,
Oh, okay.
and it means
Love that movie.
State, County, Municipal Offender Data Computer,
Data.
SCMOD.
Data.
But that's what it apparently stands for, and it's just all kind of criminal records, so you can type in like a license plate or.
You really should have grown up in America, shouldn't you?
I grew up kind of like idolizing America because my dad moved there when I was 5, so it obviously became this kind
And
of
you
like
were meant to move there, but he
ditched us. Yeah, he never came back. Full disclosure, he left in 1980.
World's smallest violin.
That's not the world. That's the world's smallest violin.
Oh, fuck you.
Dumb shit.
And you're tweaking.
See what this
fucking
is? It's the
sausage
world's
fingers.
smallest violin. Playing just thin fingers, not the sausage fingers.
Not the sausage fingers.
That's bad Santa when what's his name? John Ritter's describing what kind of midget the thief is. He's the thin.
And now I've just
type.
got Santa pulling
Not
a
the
fucking
sausage
trout
fingers.
out of his fucking suit.
By the way, if anyone watched 2 episodes back, I put the Go Compare advert on the end of episode 24.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I was true to my word.
Yeah. And was there going to be a follow-on from that, or
No.
just-
Well, I thought, the Bulger episode was a bit dark, so I thought we'd line it up by putting my visage.
Hey man, what happened to your bike?
Hey man, what happened to your bike? Alvin, Theodore. Where were we anyway? Kirk Douglas. Have you seen Tough Guys with Kirk Douglas, which is him and Burt Lancaster when they get out of prison? It's like a 1986 film by Touchstone.
No, haven't seen it.
They're like 2 Asian criminals, and they kind of like Kirk Douglas is still like a pimp, and he's still banging like really hot chicks and stuff. And I think they're planning one last job. But yeah, Tough Guys. I remember that as a kid. I used to like that.
No, I don't think I've seen that one. Do not think I've seen that one. Yes, Ethan, my next question is actually going to be relevant because it's coming up in this next 30 seconds.
Yes.
So she has whacked him round the face and the back.
Do you still like Kirk Douglas, by the way? There's a picture of Kirk Douglas
Fuck
now.
you and your final pictures, you asshole. In 5 years, you're going to look like final pictures. Ethan, this. Oh, what is that?
That's Dougie's dildo.
It looks like it, doesn't it? Because it's not the broom, because that's on the other side. But as she was dragging him away, I was like, hang on a second, what's this phallic-shaped object just lying around? It almost looks yellow as well. It's like a yellowy tinge.
He's been stabbing his urethra with it.
Oh, that's an actual fetish, though.
What point
That's
in the
so
film is
fucked
that,
up.
Ellie?
Huh?
I'm just trying to find the exact pinpoints. People listening, they can go to that part of the film to see this like bizarre. It could be a mace. Pss, pss, a spray.
Your nose just whistled.
Mace.
Mace, yes.
Yeah.
Well, it's like pepper spray.
If you sprayed Everett McGill, he just goes, "Hey, we did this in first week of basic training." Now it's just like breath freshener in Under Siege 2, Dark Territory, which
We
has the
have
famous
discussed
scene,
this.
which is in every Steven Seagal film, when the leader of the bad guys goes, "Someone's killing our guys. These hired mercenaries who got to take over this train or ship. Someone's killing them."
Sounds good.
So they go through the computer and they check the phone records, and
they
then
go,
they suddenly
Casey
see
fucking Ryback.
they go, the cook. They find his recipes and realize Casey Ryback, the cook, is on. Every film, the same scene. Casey Ryback, the cook.
It's going to happen in a second.
He trains the
Ethan.
trainers.
Trainer.
What the fuck is he doing on my ship?
He also approaches that maintenance room rather gingerly, doesn't he? Oh, God, no! Stop with the final pictures of Kirk Douglas. What the fuck are you going to look like when you're that age?
Isn't it horrible
He's
getting
got
old?
cheekbones.
He's still got hair as well.
I
He's got
know.
more of a hairline than I have. I think what it is when you get. Oh, okay. Here's the dildo bit.
Here's the dildo part. Okay, face gets smashed in, and dildo.
Okay.
It almost looks like some kind of weird, like pixie whistle or something. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe that's some kind of mace. I think it's.
Is mace yellow? Spaldner would know this.
55
he has
minutes.
guns and stuff.
55 minutes and 20 seconds, Spaldner.
Whatever it was, she
Weird
picked it
yellow
up.
dildo.
Actually, no, she didn't.
No.
It really looked like she picked it up.
She should have taken it. It was probably
She
mace.
should have. Also, the T1000, apart from the bit where we can't really discuss, we can't.
Sorry, I'm just looking at pictures of like Kirk Douglas.
Oh God, you are the worst. It will not beat Patrick Swayze. That fucking broke my heart, man. Every time I see him now, and he was like one of my biggest crushes from like when I was a kid. I just see those last days of like cancer, and it's just so fucking horrific. You're gonna die a horrible death, Ethan, and not by your own hand. Fuck, where was I going with this?
Michael
oh yeah.
Douglas, is he hot?
So T1000. No, Michael Douglas freaks me out.
Yeah.
He really freaks me
because
out.
he always he kept doing films like they were like kind of sex thrillers, weren't they? And he's always
I
like.
just wouldn't trust him around my kids or like I don't know, or my grandparents. I just
Well, you'll love Ant-Man then.
oh God, he just looks creepy as fuck. He looks like a knicker sniffer. Do you know what I mean?
I'm one of those.
Like a dirty gusset.
Sorry, I keep interrupting you. What was your question?
The T1000, apart from when he chases after the car when they're all in the car.
With his golf clubs.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Simpsons.
Hey, where you going? You forgot this?
Apart from that scene, something I find very bizarre, and it's also the same with Halloween.
Yeah.
Why is it that whenever he's like, there's some kind of chase on, maybe not a chase, but there's like a pursuit on, he never like runs. It's always this really slow walk. It's almost like he's almost cocky. Do you know
Michael
what I mean?
Myers.
Well, also with the T1000, like when shit's happening, if he just ran, he'd get places a lot quicker and would probably fulfill his objectives. But he just walks all the time, apart from, like I said, the time when he runs after the car.
But that's the only time to run.
Not really.
When else does he run? He runs after John Connor
Well,
when
no,
he's
he
trying to
doesn't- he
escape on the
doesn't run.
motorcycle.
But like when they're all in the hallway, and he first sees the T800, and he's gonna he walks through the metal gating, doesn't he? And the gun gets caught. If he just fucking ran, he'd get there so much quicker. But it's this slow kind of like steady walk that he does, and it's the same with Halloween. Why does Mike Myers never run? Has he got
Excellent.
Has he got a gammy leg?
Well, Michael Myers.
Excellent.
It was more menacing, I guess, at the time because you had like Romero.
Dun, dun,
Dun.
oh god. Oh mate. See, that's why I think the first film is so much better than the second.
Still love the second.
It's all right.
Second's great.
It's all about the first.
Yeah.
It is all about the first, dude. The
It
second is good. Third, fucking why that was even made, I don't know.
I think I was more vividly memory-wise
Mammary, it's the
freaked
tits,
out
isn't
by
it?
2. I think The Mask is a bit better because it looks more like zombified.
No,
I like them both.
like both. You can't choose.
No, I
Do
think.
the voice.
Well, as the night wears on, in I guess real time, the mask would get dirty, so it looks kind of like more rotten and skin-like. Whereas in the first one, it's just like very white and blank, and the eyes are black and stuff.
A scene I did really like was at the end when she's in that room and they're filling it with all the gas, and he's just going. And he's just like stabbing willy-nilly because he can't see because he's been shot in the face.
And there's blood coming out of his eyes.
Of his face. Yeah, like what? Yeah, I don't know. How does he keep living, dude?
Well, because his determination to fulfill his mission
To kill his sister.
is so great
Yeah.
that transcends like the physical body. So like the evil in him is so like Nigel, like Dr. Loomis says, played by Donald Pleasance.
He's awesome. I like him.
He says like, I tried for 7 years to reach him, then another 5 trying to keep him in here because what was behind that boy's eyes were evil.
Evil eyes. Yeah, I thought he played.
eyes, like a doll's eyes. 1,200 men went into the water. Only 200 came out, and the sharks took the rest. I'll never put on a
What's
life
with the
preserver,
accent,
chief. I've just switched to Quint from Jaws. I went to deliver the bomb, the Hiroshima bomb. 1,200 men went into the water.
Went
Only
into the bomb.
200 came out, but we delivered the bomb, Chief.
It sounds like you're saying bum.
But I never put on a life preserver. He's got a weird voice in that. Robert Shaw plays Red Grant in Russia with Love. From Russia with Love.
He's great. He's good too.
Ah, Chief.
What's your favourite Jaws movie?
Here's to swimming with bow-legged women.
What's your favourite Jaws movie?
You got city hands, Mr. Hooper. You've been counting money all your life.
These hands are a working,
Working
man.
man.
That's what I say, burning.
God, you're stammering like a fucking cunt as well. A bit like
Ethan.
Halloween, Ellie. I actually really like Jaws 2.
Okay, that's all right.
Maybe because it was on TV more growing up as a kid.
Mm.
But it's got
Stop touching yourself.
three great. I'm cupping my boob.
Your happy one.
So yeah, the good one. Oh,
Oh.
why can't it be good on both sides? I've got a withered left side.
Because we can't have it all, Ethan. Otherwise
Basically,
we'd
to
be
describe
fucking
me, everyone, I've got
arseholes.
this like.
If you split Ethan down the middle and they were two different people, they'd look great. But
Yeah.
because they've been merged and melded together.
One is like some Aryan Superman with like hair like spun gold, and the other half is like a bag of Twiglets with a pair of eyes.
Gold. Oh my god.
Yeah, it's got 3 really great scenes. It's got everyone confuses this in the first one, but it's actually the second one, the water skier scene where the girl's like water skiing and then this massive fin is following it. It's such
Oh,
like
yeah.
a classic scene. You're like, fucking hell.
Classic scene.
You'd actually be water skiing and look over your shoulder and see that fucking thing.
Jesus Christ. I panic in
And then
water.
there's
if
like that
anything.
shot of just like the end of the water ski, which they did in like a wave tank. It's so fucking cool. And then she goes under, and then he attacks the boat. There's the bit where they find the dead killer whale on the boat and on the beach. And as a kid, you go, fucking killer whales can kill sharks. So if a shark can kill a killer whale, that means we're fucked. There's the bit where that guy falls in the water and gets like, I guess his legs get taken by the shark, and he gets like super speeded, dragged towards or pushed towards the boat. He's trying to get in, and then he gets pulled under, and his death grip is so like hard on the boat, he like snaps the wood as he goes under. You're like, fucking hell. If his death grip is that tight, snaps some wood on a ship. That shark must be badass. And also the bit where the helicopter pilot is trying to rescue the kids. He lands the helicopter on the water, and like the shark comes up in this like shot that you see through the window of the helicopter. It's a great film. Really vivid memories of Smokey and the Bandit 1 and Jaws 2, and maybe it was on TV all the time as a kid.
Maybe.
And they electrocute the shark at the end. But yeah, really good. Love Jaws 2. Oh, when he's shooting he makes these cyanide tip bullets, which he makes. He puts some cyanide. He drills a hole in the end of the bullet, which I wouldn't recommend. Even you, Spaldner, stay away from that. He puts some cyanide in it, and then he puts wax on top of the bullet. Now I assume when you shot the gun, the wax would just go to shit with the impact and stuff. Yeah,
Plus
Spaldner
the
would
heat
know.
as well.
Yeah, let's imagine you're making cyanide bullets, Spaldner, and you've drilled a hole just to hollow the end of the tip out, the shell part. No, the shell's the casing at the back, isn't it? I don't fucking know I'm English anyway. You fill it with cyanide, and then you put wax on top to seal it in. Anyway, he goes, get out of the water, and scares the bejesus out of everyone, and he shoots into this shadow that's coming towards the beach, and it turns out to be a school of fish. How embarrassing.
That is very embarrassing.
But it's the same scene, just as in Jaws 1, where he goes, I know it's a shark, and I'm going to go for the hell again. And there's a picture of like a shark's eye, and he's saying it's a shark, and the mayor saying you're full of shit, chief, and he's like, why wouldn't you believe me? I killed the last shark. And yeah, so, but it happened in Die Hard 2, lightning did strike twice, but you couldn't use that as a kind of reference, because one, it's not in that film universe, and or it was made 12 years later in 1990.
Your face is going red.
And Jaws 2 was 1978. Sorry.
That's okay.
I ate a lot of sugar today.
I ate a lot of sugar. Be careful, that pony had a lot of water.
He did a wee-wee. Do you think he's a missing Douglas brother?
Oh, good God.
He
Who
looks
is
Douglas-esque, doesn't he?
Who
Is
is
it-
that?
He looks. I think he's the brother that's not famous.
He looks like something from the Blob. Genuinely. Oh, God, they all look terrible.
Kirk Douglas.
Yeah, he looked amazing when he was young.
When he played Van Gogh, though, that looks like a fairly recent picture. Like it could have been taken a couple of years
He's
ago.
weathered well.
You think so?
Yeah. I mean, obviously not in the really fucking old ones.
No, come on.
Yeah, that's pretty bad.
Oh God, isn't age terrible?
How old is he, though? He must be like 80 or 90.
And like everyone Google. Google. Yeah, I'm choking on my words here because it's like typing Kirk Douglas 2015. Now, you think, okay, there's some pictures of Kirk Douglas. All the pictures you click on have got such high reses. It just enhances the decrepitness.
Yeah, they should not be high res. Oh no! Oh God, Ethan, no!
His eyebrows are molting, and Kirk.
Oh, look at his mouth. It's like collapsing inward.
At that
And
point,
he's lost a dimple in his chin.
yeah.
Oh no, it's still kind of there, a cleft.
I would recommend, as you get older as a man, all
like a
older
very
men
sad
should grow
bum.
beards. And
All old men should
women
grow
should have
beards.
short hair.
What, when they're old?
Women should have short hair when they're old, and old men should grow beards.
Why should women have short hair?
Have you ever seen a woman with like waist length hair who's in her like 60s or 70s? It
Yeah,
looks
they've got that kind of
creepy as
they've got that
fuck.
kind of witchy look.
Yeah, it just looks weird. It's like,
Yeah, but just because it's but you don't have to grow it to your waist. You could have shoulder length hair. That's not necessarily short.
it's just better to have shorter hair.
Let them do what they want.
What about Jujubee?
What about Jujubee?
I should actually try and remember if you've got any facts for this, shouldn't we?
So I can do fact attack. The real reason I'm on this show.
The real reason. The real.
Oh, there's that
right.
jaunty little wiggle.
Sarah knocks on the glass hospital door. Sarah hits hospital worker Dougie in the face as a white single frame out, which enhances the impact. The same technique used in The Abyss. We covered that. Joel Kramer plays the orderly catching the keys that Sarah throws the key to, but that's probably coming up in the next scene.
So,
Yeah, it's in the next scene. Oh, this
Yeah.
timeline's fucked.
scrap that and start again. No,
It is
don't.
actually
It's fine. It doesn't matter. It's literally like just a little bit out. It's fine.
It's not out.
Don't sweat
my
it, honey.
life.
Don't sweat it. You've done well.
Yeah. God, that was a great episode. I really
It
enjoyed-
was.
I really
feel
enjoyed
like
doing
we really
that.
got lots out.
If we had a professional radio show, that's how it should be every day.
Yeah, but
And we can get one, Ellie.
I know. But I thought you said that it's not as good when we're like face to face.
I think
I've just poo-pooed that theory.
no, just the way yesterday's podcast was like a bit tenterhooks. It's just the panic of getting the person on Skype and then the sound's rubbish and you're worrying about all these other technical things. I think,
Do you mean Blelly?
yeah, because I interviewed Daniele Bellelli yesterday, who was great. We got some really good stuff out of him, but like I think because it was 9 a.m. in Los Angeles, he was kind of low energy and stuff, and he didn't know me, so he was a bit like guarded.
Maybe he's into wake and bake.
And I'm worrying about all the technical stuff that's happening around me. It would be nice to just walk into a room and have everyone just be in rooms behind glass, pushing buttons, making sure everything sounds perfect. And you just go, right, I can be my dickhead self while I'm on the phone to you. Do you know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
You move so much like Jagger, it's unreal.
Oh, like that. Like,
Yes.
like, thanks for listening.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for tuning in, yeah. I
Thank
can't
you for
do
listening,
it.
everyone. I've been Ethan McKinley.
I've been Ellie Fitzgerald by
you-
Arthur and Merlin.
I was going to say that. Well done. By Arthur and Merlin. If you type in Arthur and Merlin
Can you put a
2015
link
on
on the
iTunes,
page?
I will put a link on the page. In fact, weirdly, we can mention this just before we go off. One podcast that has gone through the roof, apart from JC Johnson, in the last 2 days,
Is Arthur and Merlin?
is Arthur and Merlin, because it's people looking for like a YouTube version that someone scrupulous pirate has put on YouTube. No one has yet, but they will. So I'm not suggesting
Probably
that's me.
Ethan.
No, it won't be.
Guaranteed, not guaranteed.
I was talking to Marco, the director today, going like,
Oh, how's he
"Can
doing,
you
by the
fight
way?
that?"
Has he got his casting agent yet? No, he needs.
I haven't spoken to him.
Oh.
Just asked him about Arthur and Merlin, just like going, can you kind of battle pirates? He's like, not really, but he said the people that kind of watch it on pirate anyway wouldn't have gone to see it in the first place, so technically you're not losing any money. So in a roundabout way, weirdly, more people are seeing the film than would have seen it if it was just to buy.
This is probably going to be another ridiculously retarded question. If you watch something online
please.
and you're streaming it, do those kind of... I mean, obviously, if someone buys the movie, that shows you would have like a definite like statistic, oh, this amount of people bought it. But if it's been streamed from somewhere, do those stats go anywhere?
Wow!
Oh my God, what's happened?
Arthur and Merlin, this is like in the grand scheme of things, actually zero, but like the... I did a podcast for Arthur and Merlin, the film I was in, with the director and the two like main stars, Kirk and main stars. That suggests that I'm like a bigger part in it. I'm not. Kirk and Stephanie played Arthur and Merlin.
Ethan was the sexiest protagonist. We'll give him that.
Actually cut from the film because apparently
Because you're
I
too good
was
looking.
sexier than yeah, I don't believe that for a second. It was just because I was shit.
Well,
Anyway.
none of them were hot, so...
Yeah, Arthur and Merlin, we did a podcast in April. No one was interested. We got about 600 views, and then I had to take that down because I had to edit certain words out. So it wasn't, as the distributors were interested in buying the film, we couldn't like say what the budget was of the film, so I had to take it down and put it back up again. Now it's been slowly climbing. It was on about 600 views like a few days ago. Now it's on 1,628.
Dude, that's gone up by 1,000 fucking views.
Now it's gone up by 328 views today because at 1 o'clock, before I went to the old people's home to see my father, it was 1,300 or just under that.
Fuck, dude, that's amazing.
But that's not because of interest in the film. That's because of people trying to find it on YouTube.
Yeah, but maybe people have watched it and then they want to see a commentary about it afterwards.
I'd like to think that. I'd also like to say how I interviewed one of the world's foremost authors and philosophers on the planet, Daniele Bellelli, and it's only got 13 views.
But it's only been up a day.
Daniele Bellelli himself has retweeted twice what I've posted and favorited it.
Fuck. It's midweek. People are busy doing shit. Give it to the weekend.
Around the world, are they busy? The
world.
You know what? Of all the wacky subjects I did on my show, Bigfoot.
Dude, we knew that was going to be a big one. There's such a huge online... But that's the thing, though, with these kind of online things. So, Bigfoot is massively online. Graham Hancock's going to kick off, because loads of people go online, they go onto the internet to actually look this shit up.
Not if it's shitly presented and badly done. So.
But they won't know that until they've fucking watched it. And by that stage, you've already got the view.
You've got them.
Exactly. You've got them by short and curlies. Anyway, thank you so much for joining us, people. But
Thank you for
do
listening,
buy
everyone.
the movie.
Do buy the movie, Arthur and Merlin, 2015. You can find it on iTunes. You can find it in the notes below this podcast on YouTube. If you do like the film, buy it again or tell a friend about it.
And leave a review.
Leave a review on iTunes. Basically, if everyone buys this goddamn film, we get a sequel and I get to be in it.
Ethan will be fucking...
Allegedly.
Who would you be?
Hopefully.
Who would you want to be?
Lancelot.
Oh, okay. The backstabber.
My idea for it
Literally.
was, because like Abathol took over all the lands, I think all the noblemen had to resort to kind of living off the land. So I think Orin's men, of which we were living in the woods, like by hunting and stuff. But I think my backstory would be I'm actually like this nobleman, Sir Lancelot, who's kind of been...
I love it, you're building your own backstory.
Well, that's what you do as an actor.
He's committed.
You know, you're dethroned, essentially, and it's kind of like when Abathol's been overthrown, hopefully then I can re-emerge as this, like, well, actually, I was this,
Maybe
like...
one day we'll break down Arthur and Merlin bit
this
by bit.
spoiled son of a wealthy landowner who kind of rested on his laurels, and although he was a good swordsman, he was kind of, like, kicked out and pushed into the woods, a bit like Robin Hood, essentially, by Abathol's men, and lived off the land along with Orin, who was another kind of, like, disgraced nobleman. So in the sequel, technically, you could build me up to being Lancelot.
Build me up.
Then I bang Arthur's girlfriend and we fall out.
Yeah.
Baddie for the third one. Get in. Thank you all for
And
listening,
on that
everyone.
note, hasta la vista.
Baby Arthur. Arthur and Merlin. 2015. On iTunes. Baby.
Stop it.
Watch out for machines. They're unstoppable. Watch out for machines.